I'm Lindsey Nickel, Director of Communications for the Diocese of Southwest Florida. And today I'm joining the Episcopal Relief and Development team and sharing with you how to transform urgency into unity, a crisis communications breakdown. Okay, so we're gonna outline a plan. You really have some key information you need to have in your pocket. We have to create a crisis communications team. Now, this doesn't always have to be the leadership team, but it needs to be a team of individuals who are responsible for managing communication during a crisis. Choose your communication channels effectively. You don't have to do everything everywhere. Choose the ones that have the highest response. You want to develop a message, and it needs to be clear. It needs to be concise. People are getting a million different things coming out, so they're constantly scrolling to try to get more information about whatever the crisis is. Your message needs to address the needs and the concerns of the community that you're serving. And establish protocols. Here's guidelines is what we are gonna say and what we're not gonna say, that you know who's the right person to address those questions. So when you're faced with a crisis, there are 4 phases of how you're gonna move through this crisis. And in each phase, you need to ask yourself, what do I know? What do I need to know? And what do I need to ask? So in your first phase, you want to listen and learn. In your listening learning phase, you want to review what your existing crisis communication plans have been. You want to review any other crisis that could have been similar to this. Okay, so now we're in phase 2, right? So we're going back to our 3 core questions. In phase 2, before we advise a plan, let's go back to, what do I know? What do I need to know still? And what do I need to ask? Again, so then we're advising a plan. So in this, we're saying, okay, we're gonna create a plan. We're gonna make sure that we have all of the contacts and everything that we need, all of the media lists we need. We're working with all of our tools to have these initial communications. We're building things like text groups, and we're making sure that we're completing any online communications we may need. Okay, so phase 3, we have made a plan, and the plan is working. We are posting on our chosen channels. We've released letters, we've released press releases, we're responding to the media appropriately. Everything seems to be going really, really well. And then inevitably things change. New news breaks, something else has happened. When that plan starts to no longer function for you, go back to the 3 questions and say, what do I know? What do I need to know? And what do I need to ask? So that as things change and you have to divert from the plan, you do so in a way that is consistent and it is all of a symbiotic mindset. Your decisions are everybody's decisions, right? You're all in one thought process, because what you don't ever want to do in a crisis is surprise someone who's on your team. You want to make sure that everyone understands the plan. If the plan has to divert a little bit, you need to understand and communicate why we're diverting, because everyone needs to be on the same team. Stage 4, and our final stage of crisis communication, is recovery. In the recovery stage, we're no longer focusing on talking about the organization. We're now focusing on discovering what the needs of the community are and helping the community recover. Our focus shifts from inward communications that go outward to communicating what's happening outside of our walls and sharing it with the broader audience that supports the organization. I want to thank Episcopal Relief and Development for inviting me to share with you my top tips in managing a communications crisis. Please feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is below, and I look forward to connecting with you about any questions regarding part 1 or part 2 of how to transform urgency into unity during a crisis.